Why am I have to be deported for? I do my mistakes.
We're filming their final moments on British soil.
Yeah, tell them to go away then.
Just drop back, Kenny. We're the first journalists to see the secretive process of deporting migrants.
Right, you're gonna walk off.
Well, that's it, they're coming out now.
These are foreign criminals being sent back home to their country. What was the crime that you committed?
I don't think I want to say this.
I don't want to speak about it, thank you.
Stop recording them before I break that camera.
But removing them demands countless security staff and bank cards loaded with money. So what is the cost of controlling our borders?
Why am I have to be deported for? Why?
That's not our job.
There's a reason why nobody has taken you inside here before.
Yeah, tell them to stop recording
Don't worry,
them.
they're not using it against you.
Yeah, tell them to stop recording them before I break that camera.
This detention centre near London houses foreign criminals who arrived in Britain with relative ease. But the Home Office is nervous because they're anything but simple to deport.
I said they were making a film.
Sorry, you're
of
going to have to
leaving.
step back.
Sorry?
You can't film.
Most of the preparations go to plan, enacted in the middle of the night at a time sprung on a list of detainees.
You know what's going on today? Yeah? I'm going back.
You want to go home?
No. I've been living here almost 10 years. Sorry.
It's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
What?
I don't want to speak about it, thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Take it.
Will you ever come back to the UK, do you think?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the crime that you committed?
I don't think I want to say this.
You don't want to discuss that? All of these offenders have been living in the UK legally, but they have invalidated their right to remain by committing a serious crime, meaning they're now being told it's time to go. After serving sentences in British prisons for theft, drugs, sexual abuse, even murder, they've since been locked up in Colnbrook Detention Centre, where their fingerprints are now being taken for the last time. Belongings bagged up, luggage for a flight not everyone's willing to take. Out of our view, this offender has just thrown a cup of urine over staff trying to remove him, and we've been asked to lower the camera.
You know what? Why am I have to be deported? Excuse me. Why am I have to be deported myself? I finished my sentence. I do my mistake. I pay by mistake. I pay by mistake. Do you get me what am I trying to be saying? How would you find a way? Why am I have to be deported for? Why?
That's not our job.
Why am I have to be deported for? I do my mistakes. I pay for it. My sentence. Yes.
The man has to be taken away in arm restraints. It's not unusual for offenders to resist, meaning each must be escorted onto the coach. The more disorderly are given a whole van to themselves. In total, 47 migrants and almost 100 security staff make their way to an airport we're not allowed to identify in the dark. Why is this happening in the dead of night, in the pitch black?
Well, these are very sensitive operations, and to minimise disruption and to maintain operational security and sensitivity, it's really important we minimise and have these at the very low-key operational times.
Are we talking about protests and the likelihood of people trying to disrupt the flights?
I think both. I mean, certainly we've seen in the past opportunities of protesters disrupting these types of flights.
As dawn breaks, secrecy ensures the buses arrive without incident. Now, each migrant must be escorted to the plane by 4 staff. Their final steps on British soil before takeoff to Romania. Right until they reach the top of these stairs, offenders will try to challenge their deportation with legal claims. In fact, 3 have already managed to get themselves out of this flight.
Ready, guys? Right, you're going to walk on.
Well, that's it, they're coming out now.
The Home Office won't risk further escape. The more disruptive passengers are again restrained and escorted up the steps by as many as 7 staff. We're asked to enter at the other end of the plane.
Hi, morning.
Hello. Where we're kept separate from the rows and rows of migrants and their escorts. For the taxpayer, this is not a budget flight. And the costs continue to rack up in the air. We capture compliant migrants being given bank cards preloaded with money, up to £2,000 each, to encourage and aid their resettlement in Romania.
Do you need me to show you your number? So you're okay with that, yeah? Okay. There you go, madam. And you.
Responsibility for the offenders remains with Britain for another 3 hours, until touchdown in Bucharest. Now they can leave British hands, and we can show some of their faces for the first time. Among the celebrating crowd, some of society's most serious offenders. Now the responsibility of Romania, and completely free to go.
How does it feel to be back in Romania?
Very good.
Yeah, you happy?
Very happy.
What are you going to do now?
I'm stay here, no come back in Londra, never.
Not ever.
Never, brother. I'm stay in immigration centers for months.
How was it in there?
Very bad.
Now you're free to go?
Sorry?
Now you're free to go?
Yes, definitely.
Britain will save money long term by no longer looking after them, with flights like this departing up to twice a week. But in total, deporting 47 people today has cost hundreds of thousands of pounds. Some of it in the pockets of the departing offenders, who won't be paying any further price for their crimes. They are no longer a concern of the Home Secretary. In her first in-depth interview in the Post, Shabana Mahmood defended the government's approach to immigration. Home Secretary, these deportation flights require twice as many staff as migrants. They're costing, we estimate, hundreds of thousands of pounds per flight. Why is the country having to strain every sinew to remove foreign criminals from Britain?
Well, look, there's just a necessary bit of logistics that's required in getting people who don't want to leave our country, are looking to use the law to frustrate our ability to remove them from our country, and then who will act up all the way through the whole of the process.
Are you frustrated by the level of resource required, though?
Well, look, I think that my job is to make sure removals happen. Under my predecessor, removals were increased to over 35,000 in the last year. I want to build on that. It will require resource, but in the end, I think that resource is worth it.
So whatever it takes?
If it starts getting removals up, I have said as soon as I came into office, I'll do whatever it takes.
There's one element of the flight that we wanted to show you. This is migrants being handed cash cards. Why is the British taxpayer having to pay people to leave our country?
Well, look, I think out of context, obviously, it's not great. It doesn't look good. But the reality is that a voluntary removal is actually cheaper for the British taxpayer. So we do offer financial packages as an incentive to people to drop their claim and to board a flight and to leave.
Do you not find that quite galling, though? We've got to pay criminals. These are killers, some of them. Killers. Paedophiles.
I totally
and we're saying
understand.
have £2,000.
I totally understand,
money.
and I really hear where that critique is coming from, and it's the same reaction I would have as well if I didn't know the system as well as I do. But every single one of these individuals costs us, the British taxpayer, £52,000 a year. Every single year that they're in one of our prisons, persuading them to take a small amount of money and to leave, that is the better option.
The one-in, one-out deal with France, which has come into force since you've been Home Secretary. Last week you deported 3, and then on Friday 1,000 arrived on small boats. How is that a deterrent? How is that going to work?
Well, look, it's a first step that we've made. There'll be more removals this week, and we will be looking to ramp up as per the agreement that we've got with the French government. We will want to see those numbers increase. They
Where
will
to?
be.
What
They
number?
will be increasing.
Can you give me a rough ballpark
I'm not going
of
to
where?
give. I'm not going to get ahead of the operational decisions.
But why
on
not?
the
Because you must have a
numbers.
rough idea. Do you want it to be everyone who arrives leaves?
I want us to get to a point where the numbers that are being removed through our agreement with the French are acting as a deterrent and stopping people from getting in the boats in the first place.
Can you promise the British public that you will ramp up the numbers?
I will be ramping up the numbers, and I hope to say that more about that in the weeks to come.
All right, that's a commitment that we've got there from you. We've heard from minorities as well who say they're quite worried about the rhetoric. Do you worry about that as well?
My view has always been that having a secure border is actually necessary for maintaining what is actually very positive race relations in our country and for maintaining tolerance in our country. I am also worried about the rise of the far right. I am very worried about some of the rhetoric. I think it's getting out of control and I worry about where that might lead. I think it's very important for mainstream politicians to hold the line on what is patriotism and what is actually nationalism. There is a line there. I know where that line is, and I do think having a secure border is absolutely key to that.
Home Secretary, thank you very much.
Thank you.